2021. Hi everyone, this is Jackie from Cross by Stitches. Welcome to my channel. Today is September 14th, 2022. This is episode number 73. I have it all memorized now because I've done this 20 extra times and not got it right. And so here we are with cut number 22. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I am sometimes disorganized and sometimes a little, but otherwise I share beautiful stitching, so make sure you hang around and see what I've been working on. It has been a few weeks since I have been on. It's probably 3, might be 4, I can't remember. And I have gotten some stitching done. I actually have two FFOs, two FFOs. I've got several FOs, and I have whips, and I have stuff to show you. So hang around, grab a cup of coffee or a drink, iced tea, and let's go through what I've been doing for the last several weeks. So I didn't get as much I didn't get as much stitching done as I thought I would, because I got wrapped up in other things during these last few weeks. I did try to get my DMC wall stocked. I do have it on a curtain rod. My DMC is on a curtain rod in thread drops and thread rings. I will share a picture here. And it gets low sometimes, so I have to go through and replenish. So I spent some time doing the higher count numbers from 3,000 on, and it does take time to go through, see what's missing. I have a tub that has a lot of extra floss in it to see if I have those colors to put up there, or make a list of the ones that I need to pick up next time. There's a sale, and I may be near a Joann's or a Michael's, which is hardly ever, but I have the list, so I can pick those up. I do pick up stuff at Hobby Lobby, but I'm paying 55 to 60 cents a skein, when hopefully I can get them for, I don't know, cheaper than that. It used to be, oh my gosh, I remember when I could get them 5 for $1, and now it's like 60 cents a skein, which is just crazy to me. It's just crazy how much string has gone up. So okay, so I did do that. I stocked the 3,000 ups on my wall, and then I have been doing some other things and trying to get stitching in between. So work is always interfering with my stitchiness, and sometimes I'm too tired when I get home to stitch, or I fall asleep on the sofa after dinner, or those kind of things. But I did get some stitching done, so I have stuff to share with you today, and I'm going to do that today because I have a few minutes before a call from the doctor. So let's see how quickly I can get this done before she calls me. If she calls me while I'm in the middle of this episode, then I'm going to pause it for a minute, and then I will get back and finish it up. And I will apologize now if she calls me before I can get through this. So, because like I said, this is like 20, 21, 22, can't even remember what I said now, takes. And so I've sucked up quite a bit of time trying to get this done. So, 2 FFOs. The first one is Lizzie Kate's Do It Your Wife Said. This is what it looks like. And we're going to have some glare, I apologize. And this is a cute design. It's a very quick stitch, and I did finish this a couple years ago, but it's been sitting, lingering in my finish pile, so I finally found a frame that it would fit in. And this is what it looks like now with this frame. Now, I don't know why, but when I look at it through the camera like this, it looks like it's crooked, like it's going downhill, but I think it's the design, because all of this looks straight to me. What do you guys think? I mean, it looks straight to me, but it's heading downhill, but that might be just the way the design is. So, but I found this frame. I'm not sure. It's got some nicks in it I got to fix, and I may paint it. I may pull this out and paint it and put it back in, not sure. But I want to make sure that I get this hung for my husband, who doesn't listen to me when he should. Because if at first you don't succeed, do what your wife said. So that's my first fully finish. My second one was a gift from a very generous stitcher. She sent me Blackbird Designs, and it's still in the plastic, so I apologize. Their song with the fabric and the floss, so I could do that. And I finally got it in a frame, and here it is. So it doesn't have glass on it, but it will. I didn't want to put it in so I could show you the picture without glare. And I just love it. I painted the frame black. I think it was gold before. And just an 8x10 frame that I picked up at the Goodwill, because mostly that's all I have is Goodwill for thrift stores around here. There's another little rinky-dink thrift store. I can't even remember what it's called, but they don't have much at all. So I have to count on the Goodwill in my town to get any kind of framing at a decent price. And I love how it looks. So that is all set. I will get the glass in it. I'll put some spacers in it, and that'll go up on the wall. So I'm excited about that. So that's my 2 FFOs. I have several FOs, and the first one that I have is a pair of claws, which is from X Stitch Little Stories on Etsy. I'll post a picture here of what it looks like, and it's Santa and Mrs. Claus, and this is Santa finished. I'm so excited that he is done. He is gorgeous. He is absolutely gorgeous. I love him. So I can't wait to get started and start doing Mrs. Claus. She's going to be next. I really want to get them both done and fully finished so that they can be hung as ornaments this year. My next fully finished is another small. It is Night Owl by the Prairie Schooler. This was in a September, October 2008, just Cross Stitch Magazine. And so I have stitched it on a 16 count Aida that I just hand dyed. It might have been coffee tea dyed, and there he is. So I just love the owl, and the look on the moon's face is just so adorable. So I'd like to find a couple more that are similar to this one with the border around it that are Halloween, so I can have like a little trio of either little pillows or little ornaments. So that's my second FO. My third FO, I think it's my last FO, is the Drawn Threads Welcome Autumn. This is the series that I'm doing. So this will be the third month that's complete. I've done spring, I've done summer, this is autumn. And it's an adorable design. And they all go in the same frame, so I just flip it out every month. I'm going to stand up for this one. And there it is. So you can see there are specialty stitches in this, and it has satin stitches where you can see in the acorns. And I used a combination of over dyed floss, dinky dye silks, and Silks for You silks. And at the end there you see there's a squirrel and he has no eye. So he's supposed to be that way on the pattern. And I tried to put a stitch in there for his eye, but I didn't like it, so I might try to put a bead. We'll see before I fully finish this. So there it is. And I love it. It came out beautiful. I love how the variegation on the pumpkin is. I did a little stitching around the pumpkin and in sections. The middle I did it in circles all the way around, from the outside to the inside, and then the sides I did it just back and forth, so it really gives it a little dimension. And that's my third one. So those are my 3 finishes, and I have several whips to show. The first one is, and I'm going to have to post pictures because the first ones I'm showing are PDFs. So the first one is Cherry Hill Stitchery's Autumn Leaves, and I'll post a picture here. And this is being stitched on a 36 count Bestitch Me fabric called Garden Party. And before I only had like the pumpkin stems showing, so now it's got, I wish I had something to stick behind this, hold on. And now it's got some pumpkins. So really cute. This fabric just complements this so well with the oranges and greens and browns in the fabric. And I really need to pick this up and work on it some more. It's kind of languished in my pile for the last week or so. I haven't really put anything on it, but I need to get it picked back up again, get it going, because once I get to the wording, it'll go pretty quickly. So that is Autumn Leaves by Cherry Hill Stitchery. My next one is from Stitches Through the Years from Etsy. It is Feed Your Soul. This one I have printed out, so there it is. And I started this back in 2021, I believe. And I've really put some progress on this one. When I picked this up the last time, I only had, I'm going to stand up again. I only had part of the border completed. So I only had the top part on this side and this side all the way up the top. So I was able to get the border done all the way around on this one and started the motifs in the middle and some of the border. You can see it's running along here. So this is such a pretty, delicate design. This is on 40 count and it's 1/2 with the called for DMC. And I'm really looking forward to getting this done because it's so pretty. And I believe the design says, it's got the alphabet and then it says, Flowers Feed the Soul. It's got some flowers and some birds along here, so it's really pretty. So really love that. And I have really come to love this designer. Even though she's just on Etsy, she has some beautiful designs, and I have purchased a couple more to do. So I'm looking forward to starting them once I finish this one. My next design is from Frosted Pumpkin, and it is the Under the Sea Sal, so I'll post that here. And last time I showed this, I only had one dolphin done. Now I've got dolphins and puffers and jellyfish and all sorts of goodies. I'm going to throw this on here like this. And there it is. Look at all my little babies. Aren't they so cute? I've got little fish, puffers, jellyfish. I've started down here heading towards the treasure chest. And it is just adorable. It is just adorable. That's washing out a little with the fabric. It's got some blues. That's a little better. Blues and greens in it, and it's just so pretty. But I love this design. I have never stitched Frosted Pumpkin before, but when I saw the little puffers, and I haven't even got to the stingray yet, I'm super excited about stitching the stingray. I just knew I had to get this design and do this. So I have been working on that. Okay, my next one is my car stitch, which is Mr. Jingles. Mr. Jingles seems to be taking forever because he's on 11 count Ada and he's like full coverage. So he has been taking a little time. But I got more of him done. He only gets like 30 minutes a day, maybe 3 days a week. I don't do it the full 5 days while I'm on lunch. But I started working on the collar of his sweater, which is all of this. And if you look in the original pattern, I'll show that again in a minute, I've decided to change how his nose is being done. So on the original pattern, it's got his nose all stitched right here. So it's got all his nose coming down and around. And I decided I didn't want to do that. I wanted his nose to be 3D. So I'm going to make his carrot nose totally separate and then stitch it onto his face. So you can see all this orange would be in his sweater right here. And on mine, I just converted it so that it will be just the collar. So that I will be able to make a nose for him and make his nose 3D, which I thought would be pretty cool. Hopefully I can pull that off. So he goes back in the car again. And the next thing I've been working on is Hands-On Designs Costume Party. I know a lot of you have done Costume Party. You know what that looks like, so I'm not going to share a picture. But this is where I'm at with mine. Last time I talked to you, I had not dyed fabric yet, hadn't decided what I was going to do with it. And I decided to use a 32 count Picture This Plus Nocturne as my fabric instead of dyeing. And this Nocturne is so tight, it's an even weave, that I'm actually doing it 1/2 because 2/2 was too tight. And this is where I'm at with it. So I've got part of it done. I'm starting on the Halloween up there. I still have to finish the shelf. And then I'm starting Halloween across here. And I'm really liking it on this fabric. It's really cute. It's kind of spooky. That's a good picture. And I got to get it finished before Halloween. So I still have a little bit of time left. Not going to panic over it, but I am still working on it. And it is in my little Halloween bag, which has got candy corn this is one of the bags I made, and kitties on the front. So I love that bag. And I have one more thing to share, and this is my oldest whip. This is the Early American series by Little House Needleworks. And the last time that I showed this, I was still working on number 7, which was Abigail Adams. And I'm finished with Abigail Adams, and I'm now currently working on Patrick Henry's house, which is number 8 block. And again, I'm going to stand up because I got to show the whole thing. And there it is. So I'm way down here, as you can see, down on this block here. And I've had some issues that I had to frog, and so that has slowed me down quite a bit. I did have the house, let me just flip this up for a second. I'm going to fold all this so we can talk about the house. So the house was supposed to be stitched in eggshell, and I had this whole top floor of the house stitched before I realized that that's not the color that I wanted to make it. It really did blend in with the fabric, and I originally had stitched Martha's house, which is over here, in white. She was also supposed to be in eggshell, and I decided I wanted her house to be white. I wanted some white in the design to match the stars that run down the side and the bunting on the top and bottom. So I stitched her in white. So my intention was to stitch Patrick Henry's house in white as well, and I had let this sit for so long I had forgotten. So I had to go back, rip all that out, and then restitch some of the white. So that's where I'm at with it. I also, because this had sat so long, had taken the time to change some of the other items to white instead of a cream. Like you can see here, this is Betsy Ross. Part of her is in white instead of the eggshell. She's got white on the top of her hair. She's got white here. Some of the others have white. And then when I came down and started working on Paul Revere, I put eggshell, if you can see that or not. I'm going to go over this side. See, I put eggshell instead of white. So I have to go back and change any place on the designs that I was supposed to put white. I have to go back and pull it out and redo it. Same thing here when I did Abigail Adams. You can see on her, this is all eggshell here. It should have been white. So I'll have to pull that back out and restitch it in the white so that there's some continuity throughout the design, that there's some white there. I don't know how I managed to not pay attention to that, but I did. So I'm still not sure what I'm doing with the center block yet. I'm not worrying about it until the end, but I have intentions of getting Patrick Henry done, and then Molly Pritchard is the last one to go in. So I want to continue working on this. I started this in 2017. You'd think I would have had this done by now. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I have been pulling it out at night, and I have been working on it. So I am determined to have this done this year. And I had so many other plans of stitching things, but I have so many things that are already started that I need to get done. So I need to work on concentrating on those items. So those were all my whips. It is September. I had plans of doing AB Singo 2022. which I'm sure a lot of you that watch Carolyn Zook, her and Robin Hall have a Facebook group, which is a magazine monthly challenge group, and they do AB Singo in September. And I actually did 2 different AB Singo boards. I had one, and then I actually did a second one, planning to do AB Singo, but I ended up not doing it because I started getting involved in trying to finish things. And so I decided I would not follow AB Singo this year. I'm kind of sad I didn't start doing it, but again, I am one of those people that has to stitch what I feel kind of thing. If I make plans, a lot of times I can't follow through on them because it's not what I'm feeling at the moment. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to stick with what I've got, try to get it done, and just move on because the holidays are coming and decorating, and I have a ornament I have to stitch because I'm in an exchange and I haven't even started yet. So different things. So I said I'm not going to do AB Singo. I've got to concentrate on other things. So I think that's all my stitching. Haven't made any more new bags. I've been kind of busy with other things, so I haven't done that. I did pick up a few things that was interesting. I did receive my fall, which is the October 22, just cross stitch. I have a subscription, so that came in the mail. It's got some cute designs in it. If you want to see them, go over to Carolyn Zook's channel, and she does a flip through. The one thing that really caught my eye was that little pumpkin pin keep, which is adorable, so I may do that. And then I also received the Christmas ornament issue. And again, not anything that jumps out at me. There's a couple, 1, 2, 3 things that I really like, but nothing that just oohed or awed me this year. I picked up, I had to make an order at 123 Stitch for some floss for autumn leaves because I didn't have the right pumpkin colors, so of course I had to pick up a couple of patterns too while I was placing an order. I hate to waste shipping on just a couple of skeins of floss. So I picked up Turkey Bay from Plum Street Samplers, and I picked this up because of Kathy, Crafty Cat Stitcher. She has been stitching this, and hers just pops with color, and every time she shows it, I'm like, I have to get this pattern. And so there it is. Sorry about the glare. I hate glare. There. I hate glare. So this is just an adorable design. It really is. I mean, look at the turkeys floating in the water. Who doesn't love the little turkeys floating along? And it doesn't look like this pattern is very bright, but it is very bright. I think she's doing hers in DMCs. I'm going to check because those DMCs make this thing pop. And that's probably what I will do, is do it in DMCs. Maybe some overdyes if I happen to have the colors, but I won't order them special. And then the other pattern I picked up, which was quite a surprise to me because I've never purchased from this designer before, and it was by the Bay Needle Art. I think her designs are very, very different and unique and pretty, but not something I would normally stitch. But this series, I don't know why, I was going through and I saw this and I absolutely loved it. I love the trees and the design, so I only picked up the part 2 of this design. Say if I stitch it, then I'll pick up 1 and 3. So let me pull this out of plastic as well. And it is 13th Colony Bay is what the design is. And this is just part 2 of that design. And that is just too cute. My father used to paint sailboats. He would do some art and do paintings, and they had sailboats in them, and that just reminded me of him, and I said I really want to do that. So I picked that up hoping that I would, and it's done in DMCs, hoping that I would kit that up and start it sometimes. Maybe I'll start it, I think I'll start it on his birthday. His birthday's in February. Of course, he has passed away. He passed away in 2010. And I think I'm going to start that on his birthday. So I may kit that up before February. And then the last thing I wanted to show was this design. Now I was watching Kathy and Molly over at Linen and Scraps. They have a relatively new Flosstube channel. She's lots of interesting things they show, and I was interested in watching them. And Kathy showed this design. I don't want to take it out of the plastic, but it was this pumpkin design, which I thought was really cool. And I recognized the paper that is on here. It is the lady in thread who is the designer. I had one of her patterns already, and I had never seen this one. So when I saw that Kathy was stitching on this, and hers was looking fabulous, it had just popped, I started searching for the patterns and figuring out how I could find the pattern. And I went over to eBay, and I saw that it was selling on eBay, and so I ordered it. And when I received the design, I was surprised to see that the shipper of the design was the actual designer. She was selling her patterns on eBay. So the original one that I have is this one, which again, I haven't started it. It's in my stash here, but I absolutely love it. It's a great Halloween one. It's called Spooky as a Spider. It's a lot of black, but it's an actually cool design with that spider. And after I had gotten that, I decided I was going to try to find the other two that match this one. You can see this one says, it says God's Beast Sampler number 3. So there were 2 other samplers that were similar to this, Spooky as a Spider. So I'm back on eBay again, and I found them again. The designer herself is shipping them out. Her name is Erna. Let me see. Erna Gorina is her name, and I will post a link to her eBay channel. If you're interested, you could contact her about the patterns if she doesn't have them posted, but she is the actual shipper of her because the label tells me her name, and that is her. So this is number 1, Patient as a Turtle. So I had to pick up the other 2, and they were great price. They weren't expensive at all for out of prints or something you would think would be out of print. You couldn't find it. So that's that one. And then this one, which I think is hilarious, this design, Brave as a Hedgehog. And I love this hedgehog. This is too stinking cute. But there he is. So absolutely fabulous designs and great price for them. So I just wanted to complete my collection of my God's Beast samplers. So I picked those up. And I think that is it. I'm trying to get better at posting on Instagram. I know a lot of people post on Instagram. I'm really horrible at taking pictures of my projects before I put them away when I'm done stitching at the end of the night. I wish I could get into that, but by the time I'm done stitching, I'm really tired, and I'm like, I just want to put it away, go to bed. But I'm going to try to get better at posting more progress over on Instagram. And for those of you that don't have Instagram, I would suggest you check it out. It is the devil's playground of cross-stitching. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? It is a plethora of stitching on Instagram, and well worth to get your own Instagram account. You don't have to give a lot of information. You can use whatever name you want to use. You don't have to use your name. You can make your account private and then start following people that you really like on there. It's lots of fun. And you get to see a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of designers on Instagram. It is great. I know there's several people that say they don't have an Instagram account. Check it out. It is well worth being on Instagram, much more than Facebook. It's just, you know, there are people from all over the world who are on Instagram and share their stitching, which is just fabulous. Fabulous. Trying to see, I got notes. I'm just making sure I didn't forget anything. I think that was it. Well, I hope you enjoyed visiting with me today. Saw something that kind of inspired you to stitch. If you like, you can go over. My Instagram is cross_my_stitches. You can certainly come over and check out my Instagram account. Let me know, send me a message on there, tell me who you are, that you're a subscriber or you're watching my channel so I can follow you back, and that would be lots of fun so I can see what you're stitching on. Oh, you know another thing I got? Ooh, I'm glad I noticed it. Okay, I know a lot of you follow, sorry for the crinkling, a lot of you follow Helen D. I followed Helen D from the moment she started her channel. I've always loved watching what she's working on. And just recently she had a how-to video on the bats. Can't remember what she called them, but you people, you stitchers that have seen Helen D know what I'm talking about with the bats. It was a designer that had a design out in a kit. I want to say it's Flosstube. And Helen did a how-to on how to make the bats and where to get the supplies. And of course, I had to get the supplies. So I got the balls, I've got the heads, I've got the eyes, I've got the teeth, I've got the dots for the eyes, I've got it all. And I'm going to make me some bats. So hopefully the next time I video, which I hope will be in 2 weeks, I will have some bats made because I'm dying to try out this tutorial and see how the bats are. And just because they're just too stinking cute. And I had to get purple heads, green heads, and black heads because I wanted different colors for my bat heads. So if you haven't seen that, go on over to Helen D, East Coast Crafter, on Instagram, and I think she's Helen D on YouTube, and check out her bat tutorial because that is just too stinking adorable. She did say that Flosstube was re-releasing the actual stitching patterns that are on the bats. It's going to be a limited edition release, I guess. So, but you can certainly do them without the stitching, and they're just absolutely adorable. So I think that's it. I'm going to go. I'm going to have that phone call shortly, so I want to make sure that I am off here before I do that. Thank you so much for visiting with me. Thank you for sticking with me. If you've been with me for a long time, it's been 4 years. I will be 5 years on YouTube in, I want to say it's April or May. So I can't believe that I've been on here over 4 years now doing this. But I really love sharing my stitching with all of you and having that interaction in the comments and stuff. I've gotten to know quite a few people and talk with you, and it's fabulous. If you have any questions for me about anything you have seen or anything that's on my walls, please leave it in the comment section below. I will get back to you. And of course, next time you see me filming, you won't see any of my fall stuff here because that'll all be moved out to the living room and dining room area. And you'll see empty spots on my walls. So until then, you happy stitching, and thank you so much. Bye.